Welcome to our channel. The goal of this channel and the podcasts that we're going to be publishing is to educate the general public on recent Nevada Supreme Court decisions so that you can know what your rights are in various fields of law. I'll give you a call back as soon as I'm finished. Okay. This is the Nevada Supreme Court decision of Doan versus Wilkerson, decided June 26, 2014. Back in 1985, a man and a woman married. The man had a good government job and retirement accounts. Before the man retired in 2003, they divorced. During the divorce process, the retirement account was discussed, but ultimately it wasn't put into the decree of divorce. The judge didn't notice that this asset was omitted from the decree of divorce. The wife didn't notice it. The husband didn't notice it, or if he did, never mentioned he didn't notice it. The attorneys for both sides didn't notice it. The judge's law clerk didn't notice it. In any event, nobody noticed it until 6 years later, when the woman realized she should be getting a retirement check from her ex-husband's retirement and isn't. And she discovers that, in fact, her ex-husband is retired and is collecting a check himself. So she seeks out the assistance of an attorney, and they bring it back in front of the court, hoping that the court will modify the prior divorce decree. At first, the court says, no, we're not modifying the divorce decree. It's 6 years too late. You could have modified it within the first 6 months after it was entered into the record, but 6 years later is far too late. She then filed a motion to reconsider with the district court, and on reconsideration, the court realizes, well, it was an omitted asset. It was a mistake. Everybody intended for it to be in the decree, and it simply wasn't, by mistake, mutual mistake. Moreover, it really is her property and remains her property. It just simply wasn't mentioned in the decree, and therefore she can't get access to it. So the district court decided to amend the decree of divorce. Well, the ex-husband didn't like this decision, and he appealed to the Nevada Supreme Court. Now, what do you think the Nevada Supreme Court decided? I mean, consider the scenario. An elderly woman anticipating getting some money from her ex-husband's retirement, perhaps counting on that retirement, maybe even spending money on certain things in anticipation that she will be getting some money. And then all of a sudden, she doesn't get any. And she realizes that there was a mistake. Should the divorce court have amended the decree of divorce like they did? Or does the 6-month rule require that it has to be done within 6 months? What do you think? Suppose this happened to you or your mother or your grandmother. Or conversely, suppose your grandfather was the one to benefit from this mistake. Anyway, the Nevada Supreme Court decided that the rule for modifying a decree for property division is 6 months. Now remember, if this were a child custody case and there were mistakes with regard to child custody, you can always go back to court to amend a child custody decree based on changed circumstances or what have you. But when it comes to marital assets, the Nevada Supreme Court ruled you have 6 months to correct a mistake. Doesn't matter why there's a mistake, you have 6 months. Now, if the husband had fraudulently hidden the asset from his wife during the divorce process and she discovered it many years later, she could go back to court on a theory of fraud, suing her husband for that fraud. But that wasn't the case here. Both parties agree the asset was discussed, and it's pretty clear it was simply a mistake. So the moral of this story is that if you don't make sure your divorce decree is correct or corrected within 6 months of its entry, you could lose your asset, and it could be a very valuable asset. So you don't want to sit on your rights. Another moral of the story is, if you don't like this type of decision, you should go to your legislature and you should demand that they change the law, because a 6-month rule, hardline rule like this, is unfair given the facts of this case. This again was the Nevada Supreme Court case of Doan versus Wilkerson, decided June 26th, 2014. I'm Nevada attorney Anthony Wright. Please subscribe below and leave comments, but remember, comments are not confidential in a public forum.